Hi, everyone. Welcome to WTF Wednesday. I'm Kristen Kramer with Girl Friday Virtual Office. And earlier this week on Making Bold Moves Monday, we talked about an end of day routine and how you can use that process to set yourself up for success the following day, so that when you come into your office in the morning, you have a better chance of hitting the ground running and jumping right into your top priorities for the day versus sort of meandering around all morning. And, then it's noon and you're like, oh, I guess I should probably start doing something productive for the day. I may or may not have been guilty of that at some point in the past, but we aren't going to talk about that. So what I wanted to mention about today as well is that not only can an end of day routine help you with your productivity, your focus, maximizing your time, and also, making sure that you are covering all of your bases so that you are getting the musts done every day, those high priority items. And, look, over the last year and a half, it's been bizarre. I mean, just hands down, it's just bizarre on so many levels. And as a small business, and just for my business, I have had to go through the process of reinventing myself and determining what's the next step for my business. What does the next phase or evolution in my business's life cycle look like? How is it relevant to how people are doing business today? And it has taken a lot more time to go through that process than I imagined. I've had a lot of frustration with myself because I am a high achiever. I'm very goal oriented. Usually I can get into a flow pretty easily, and that has not been the case over the last year. And the coaches that I've worked with have, they're all like, give yourself a break. It's unprecedented time. It's a lot to process. You have to be kind to yourself, right? And that is not something that I am very good at. In fact, I'm horrible at it. And I think really most of us are very poorly geared towards being kind to ourselves. We are our biggest critics. We say things to ourselves that we would never say to someone else. But, well, most of us would never say. We certainly wouldn't say it to someone that we cared about, or our best friend who we care about, loved ones, our children. The criticism and dialogue that we have in our head is usually, brutal, and not supporting what we're trying to achieve. So you're up against that as well. And if you're also like me, having to reinvent yourself, it's hard. I mean, I built a 6-figure business over the course of 10 years. And I love being a business owner. I love being an entrepreneur. But it's hard to start all over again. And I think there are a lot of people who are in this position, having to start all over again. And you're up against a lot of different things. Like, some of it is your own confidence, your motivation or lack thereof, trying to figure out your relevance in our new normal. And I'm a virtual business. So you would think that providing business strategy to other entrepreneurs would be easy to build a business around. And I think in a lot of regards, it probably is. Like most human beings, I think I'm making it more difficult than it really should be. But I don't want to dwell too much on that, because what I really want to convey to you is that when you're in this place of having to start over or trying to figure out, like, what do I want to be when I grow up again? Right? What does that look like for my business? What does it look like for me? How do I relate to the new type of consumer that we're working with? And you're at this crossroads. And many times it's very difficult to get out of your own way, because you spend so much time up here in your own head, listening to that little shit in the back of your head that is just, beating you with a 2x4, your confidence and emotions and everything else. Right. And I've said this before, that you have to tell that voice to shut up. And it takes practice. And it takes a lot of consistent practice. It's not something that you can do overnight. And this is where a coach can help you. And I have a network of business coaches. So if you're looking for a business or a life coach, reach out to me and I'll give you the list of folks that I've worked with over the years. They're amazing. And each one of them approaches things a little bit differently. So, it's a good list to look at and be able to sort of determine who might fit your needs best, and your personality and the way you approach challenges. I will say that getting a business coach definitely is the one primary key factor that I think helped me prior to 2020 get out of my own way. And the focus now, of course, is mindset work. It's an ongoing project. I'm a work in progress. So you're at this crossroads and you have a choice. You can stay there and continue to second guess yourself and just stay in this stagnant, stuck place, or you can choose to make a decision. And this is my challenge to you. Make a decision, whatever it is, just pick a direction, make a decision. Look, it's not written in stone. You're not a tree. You can move, right? So if you say to yourself, I'm going to give myself the rest of 2021 to make it or break it. So I have 4 months to either make something happen with my business or I need to get out of my business. It's a shitty decision. But you might be at that point. I have certainly spent a good portion of time over the last year and a half really feeling like that with my business, because it's just been so disheartening to lose the heart and soul that I put into Girl Friday Virtual Office for 10 years. But I am stubbornly persistent. And in my mind, I think I'm a very resilient person. So it sort of goes against my hardwired nature to throw in the towel. And I would hate to throw in the towel. Like, I'm not looking forward to being in that position. And sometimes when you get painted into a corner, you are forced to create solutions and get out of your own way. Stop second guessing yourself, make a decision. And then here's part 2 that is critical. So you make the decision, but that's not enough. You need to do this second step. The next thing you have to do is take action. Take action. Just do something that advances your cause in the direction you want to go. And sometimes this is something really small. It doesn't have to be like earth-shattering, drastic, crazy action. Sometimes it's the small actions that help us build the initial momentum so that all of those actions culminate into something greater and move us forward faster than if we stay at this crossroads, stuck in indecision, not following our gut and our intuition to do what we feel inspired to do because we're worried about what other people think, or we want to get more information or more opinions about something. All of that, making the decision. So step 1, make the decision, and you have to follow it up with taking action. Now, that action might be for this week, starting a habit of an end of day routine where you set yourself up for success when you walk into your office the next day. It doesn't have to be complicated. I have a process that I use, and I'm also working on some tutorials, or I don't know, tutorial is probably not the right word, but I'm also working on some tools to provide to you so that you can have this in your toolbox, in your back pocket even, and start implementing and using this technique to start ramping up faster in the day, start getting more momentum on the front end of your day, and being able to clearly focus and prioritize what you need to do. I think if we all start doing more to implement these habits, sorry, that didn't make much sense. But if we start doing more where we have a routine set, again, it's going to help us build that incremental momentum. And man, once you start getting that momentum built up underneath you and you start becoming a lot more confident again in your ability to make decisions and the direction that you're taking your business, then, it's going to be like a runaway freight train. I mean, I don't know if you experienced this, but I can tell you that over the last 10 years, anytime that I have fought things going on around me, trying to shove a square peg through a circle hole, you know what I'm talking about, swimming upstream against all the tides. Anytime I've been in that place trying to control and just white knuckle control on everything, it has turned out very poorly for me, usually more detrimental than if I had just relaxed into the situation and let things unfold the way they were going to unfold. And I think that part of it too is having solid habits so that I don't have to waste energy and time and effort on sitting down at my desk in the morning and figuring out what to do. I mean, I know what to do, right? Like my ass needs to be making sales calls. That's what I need to be doing. My ass needs to be closing on some business. I need closed business on the books, right? Every business needs that if they're going to be successful and stay viable. But part of that is having routines that help me get started faster in the day, so that I sit down with a clear plan every morning and say, okay, great. These are the 3 key items that absolutely, unequivocally must happen today. They are non-negotiable, and come hell or high water, they're getting done. That's it. And if you have a CRM, you can even put it into your CRM, and your CRM can send you an agenda. Less annoying CRM, which I'm working with now. It'll email, your daily agenda to you. Microsoft, if you're using Outlook, it does the same thing. Especially if you've enabled, I'm going to say it, and it's going to initiate on my computer, especially if you have enabled Cortana on your computer. And Honeybook, another CRM that I work with, does the same thing. And it's all about these habits. And the more habits that you can set up that reduce the decision exhaustion or decision fatigue, as it's referred to, it's a real thing. You have more brain cells, essentially. I was going to say bandwidth, but that's very, cliche, I guess. You have more brain cells, more hamsters that can make it to the wheel in your head. So you can accomplish more. So a real quick recap, because we've kind of, run all over the place with this. Sorry. First, please start implementing an end of day routine. I cannot express to you how strongly I feel this would be a key benefit for you, especially if you've been struggling to gain momentum and you kind of start your day in a fog and just sort of like, I couldn't find my way out of a paper bag today if it was open on both ends moments, and you feel like you don't have 2 brain cells to rub together. If you're spending time in that space, end of day routine, that's going to really help you overcome that indecision when you start your day. The other, of course, is to make a decision and go in that direction. Take action, even small action, because it all adds up. Take action that's going to advance your cause, advance you towards the decision that you made, the goal that you set. And if you need help with this stuff, that's what I do. And I would be happy to have a call with you. I do free 30-minute consultations to see if there's, a way that I'm able to help you, or if we're even a good fit, if it makes sense for us to work together. So you can always schedule a free consultation with me. You got nothing to lose. And you might come away with an aha moment, whether you do business with me or not. So end of day routine, make a decision, take action. I want to know how it's going for you. So you guys who are listening and then not sharing, I want to hear what you got going on. And I will catch you on Friday for Chuck It in the Fuck It bucket. And what better be on your list for Chuck It in the Fuck It bucket? Better be indecision. Chuck that shit, because you're not going anywhere with it. And if you need help, let's talk. All right. Have a fantastic evening, and I will catch up with you guys on Friday. Go blaze your trail through the world and make something fantastic happen for you and everyone around you.